Hey, hello students and welcome to my channel Edufly JEE-NEET. Today I'm going to discuss with you the third tetrapodas, that is Reptilia. Fine. We are going to discuss about Reptilia. So let's study the very important basic characters of this phylum. They are the first true land vertebrate. Mind it. This question is very important. They are the first true land vertebrate. Next is they are originated from where? The origin. This is the origin. They are originated from salamander-like terrestrial amphibians. Salamander. Where have you studied? You have studied in amphibians. So they have originated from where? From salamander-like terrestrial amphibians. That's all. Next is general characteristics. What is the general characteristics of this classes? They are abundant in tropical regions. Basically they are found in the tropical regions, but they are not found in Arctic or Antarctic region So they are not found in these two regions. Next is very few are found in colder temperate region. Very few are found in colder temperate region, that is in colder region. Next is most of the reptiles, they are carnivorous or insectivorous. That's all. I hope you know the meaning of carnivorous and insectivorous. So this is about the general characteristics which I have started for these classes, that is Reptilia. We'll see some more important characteristics of this. Now let's see about the temperature. They are cold-blooded animals, that is poikilothermous. They are not warm-blooded animals. Like amphibians are also cold-blooded, and reptiles are also cold-blooded animals. Their body temperature is a bit higher than the surroundings. If the surrounding temperature is suppose 27, then their temperature might be 29, 30, higher than the surrounding temperature. That is the temperature of the environment. Next is body form. How their body form exists in case of reptiles. The body may be short, or maybe it's broad. You have seen snake. Very common example of this phylum is snakes. You have seen different types of snakes like cobra, python, so many types of lizards, snakes. All those belongs to this phylum, this class, that is Reptilia. Their body is divisible into head, trunk and tail. The body form is done. This is body form. क्या होता है? Head होता है, सांप अगर बनाया जाए, सांप ऐसे सांप है, अगर सांप, ठीक है ना, जस्ट बेसिक मैंने बताया है, सांप है, हेड होता है, ट्रंक होता है, टेल होता है. Then next is the appendages. They have two pairs of limbs are present, but say limbs are absent in few lizards and snakes. Snakes doesn't have limbs. Fine. In snakes limbs are absent, and in case of few lizards the limbs are absent. Done. So that's all about temperature, body form and appendages. Done. Now we'll see next character of this class. Skin. Now let's talk about skin. See, their skin is very rough. I know you haven't seen, you have seen the snakes, but you haven't touch it or feel the presence of snakes. Someone might have felt the presence. Their skin is very rough and dry, very dry. Without glands, they don't have any glands present in the skin. Their exoskeleton of horny epidermal scales is present. They are outside, exo means outside of their skin. There is a horny epidermal scales. Horny means like ऐसे करके, ऐसे करके. Fine. Scales contain waterproof protein. This epidermal scales will contain what? Waterproof protein, that is keratin. क्या होता है ना कि वाटरप्रूफ है, तो अगर पानी उस पर लगेगा तो क्या होगा कि पानी बह के चला जाएगा, बट वो वाटरप्रूफ रहता है, वो एब्जॉर्व नहीं करता है, बिकॉज दे डोंट हैव एनी ग्लैंड्स. वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. No glands are present in case of these organisms. To check loss of water, this waterproof protein keratin is present in order to check the loss of water. Next is it enables the reptile to live on the land, and this because of this waterproof protein is present in case of these organisms, and due to that reason that organisms can live on land. Very important characteristics. The reason behind that is that why they are being able to live on the land is that they contain waterproof protein, that is keratin, to check the loss of water. That's all. This is about skin. So you have to check these two important points. Their skin is rough and also they don't have any glands, and they are conified. Done. So this is about skin. Now we'll see next characteristics. Let's talk about the mouth. Mouth is terminal in case of these organisms with conical teeth which are pleurodont. See, this is important. See, for NEET exam. The teeth is pleurodont in lizards and snakes. In case of lizards and snakes, teeth are pleurodont, and thecodont in crocodiles. Thecodont in crocodiles. Teeth are absent in case of and replaced by horny beaks in turtles. Turtles, they don't have teeth. Teeth are absent. You have to see this, and they are replaced by horny beaks in turtles. Turtles याद रहेगा. और प्लूरोडोंट lizards में और snakes में कैसा teeth होते हैं? Pleurodont, and thecodont in crocodiles. Done. So this is about the mouth part. Next is endoskeleton. Endoskeleton is bony in case of these organisms. Skull is monocondylic. Mono means it is single occipital condyle. They have monocondylic skull. Done. You have to remember this point important. And about the teeth, in case of lizards and snakes, they have pleurodont, thecodont in crocodiles, and remember turtle doesn't have teeth. That is replaced by horny beaks in case of turtles. This is also important. Fine. So this is about the mouth and endoskeleton. Remember this. Questions always come from this part. So let's see next point. Now let's talk about digestive system. See, what happens in case of digestive system is that the mouth is large and they usually armed in both teeth in both the jaws. That is, teeth are present in both the jaws, and distinct liver and pancreas are present in case of these organisms. An alimentary canal will leads into cloaca. Cloaca, I have told you the definition in previous classes. Just see my notes. Next is respiratory system. Respiration occurs by lungs. Why? Because they are the land animals. Gills are absent in case of these organisms. Gills are absent. So their respiration is through lungs. Next is ribs. They have the ribs that will help to expand and contract the trunk, making the lungs respiration more efficient. So the ribs has a very important work to do. They help in the expand and contraction of the trunk, so that the respiration by the lungs will become more efficient for those animals. Done. This is about digestive and respiratory is done. Now we will see about excretory system and many more characteristics. Let's see about the circulatory system. In heart is incompletely four-chambered. That is, they have two auricles and one ventricle and a partly divided ventricle. Next is sinus venosus is present, but truncus arteriosus is absent. And there is an exception in case of these organisms. Crocodiles have a completely four-chambered heart. Like birds and mammals, mammals and the birds, they have four-chambered heart. But see, crocodile belongs to reptilia, but they have four-chambered heart. So this is an exception, and question comes from here. RBCs are oval, biconvex and nucleated. Renal portal system is a bit reduced in case of these organisms, that is in reptilia. So here you have to remember about crocodile, they have four-chambered heart, and how much chambered heart is present in case of these organisms, and the shape, what is the RBCs. Now we will see about the excretory system. The excretion is by pair of kidneys. they have a pair of kidneys. This organism has a pair of kidneys. But the excretory matter is a bit different. See, if those organisms are present in land form, they'll excrete the uric acid. So they are known as uricotalism. If they are present in aquatic forms, then urea, they'll excrete the urea, that is ureotalic. And urinary bladder may be present in these organisms, may be present. Then cranial nerves and sense organs, they have 12 pairs of cranial nerves. Their external ear is absent. In those organisms, tympanum represents internal ear. Or you can say tympanum represents the whole ear in case of those organisms. This is important. Jacobson's organs is present in the roof of the buccal cavity of some snakes and lizards, and which they help them to smell. Then that is concerned with nothing but smell. Very important, this question comes about Jacobson's organs. What are the functions? They are where they are present. They are present in the roof of buccal cavity, and they help. They are concerned with the smell in case of snakes and some lizards. External ear is absent. Tympanum represents the ear. Done. This is about sense organs. Now let's see about the reproductive system. In reproductive system, what happens is that gonoduct which leads into cloaca. I told you about the cloaca. Unigenital apparatus is there. Males generally have copulatory organs. For copulation, they have copulatory organs. Most forms are oviparous, that is, they lay eggs. And from that eggs, the new one gets hatched. After hatching, the new ones come out. Amnine encloses the embryo and provides it to the watery environment. And so that's the reason they don't have to go to water for breeding. This enables the egg to develop on land very easily, because that amnine will encloses the embryo, and that will provide the watery environment to that embryo, and that's the reason they will develop on land. They don't need to go to water for fertilization. There are two membranous sacs attached to the embryo. First is yolk sac that will contain the embryo's food, and the next is allantois, which stores the embryo's nitrogenous waste until hatching. Till hatching, that allantois, what they'll do, it will store the nitrogenous wastes of that young ones. After hatching, it will come out. And next is yolk sac that contains the embryo's food. These two very important. Two membranous sacs are attached to the embryo. So about reproductive system is done. We'll see about fertilization and development in these organisms. Now we'll see about the fertilization and development in these organisms. Fertilization is internal in these organisms, and embryonic membranes called amnion and chorion. Amnion and chorion, these two are the embryonic membranes that are formed during the development. Next is, what is the function of chorion? Chorion which surrounds the embryo and controls the overall permeability of the egg. So the basic functions of chorion is important. What they do is, it will surrounds the embryo and controls the overall permeability of egg. That will controls the overall permeability, so that the permeability doesn't happen in that egg. Controls the permeability. Chorion functions is important. Now we'll see about the classes of reptilia. What are the different classes of reptilia? Done. We'll see about the classes of reptilia. See, reptilia are divided into two classes. One is Anapsida and the other is Diapsida. Anapsida, this is the order. Chelonia is the order of Anapsida, and the examples you have to remember. The examples of Chelonia is Chelon, that is tortoise, and Testudo. Testuda is tortoise. This is the common name, this is the biological name. Both names you have to remember. Next is Diapsida. In case of Diapsida, it is divided into three orders, that is Rhynchocephalia, Squamata and Crocodilia. In case of Rhynchocephalia, example is Spinodon. Squamata is further divided, they have suborders, that is Lacertilia and Ophidia, and Crocodilia is, example is crocodile, alligator. They belong to this order. Next is Lacertilia, example is chameleon, that is tree lizard, you know chameleon very well, calots, garden lizard, and hemidactylus, wall lizard is very common, every time it comes in our room, that is hemidactylus. Example I am telling you again example, remember this, crocodilia का order के example क्या है, crocodile and alligator. Next is Ophidia is naja, cobra, vipera, viper, cobra and viper. All this type of snakes will form into Ophidia, the group of, that is order, I mean suborder Ophidia. So this is about the classes of Reptilia. We'll see up the examples of Reptilia. These are the very important examples. Also, I'll give a separate example for this class. Fine. Examples which I have discussed in the classes, that is suborders. These examples are sufficient. No need to remember more examples. Whatever examples I have given in the classes of that the order and suborder, just remember those examples only. No need to remember more examples. So we'll see about the advancement of these organisms. That the overview of this classes. Fine. So this is about advancement of our amphibians. These points you have to remember. This is last minute revision for those students who are giving NEET 2020. See, horny epidermal scales are present that will check the loss of water by evaporation. Next is ribs will increase the pulmonary, that is in respiration. Ribs has an important role. Partial or complete division of ventricle for separation of oxygenated and deoxygenated blood in the body. Next is eggs with shell for protection on the land. I told you, I have discussed this point. Embryonic membrane for nourishment, respiration, and excretion of the embryo within the cell. So these 5 points very important for those who are giving the exam, that is NEET exam this year 2020. So you just revise these few points and can go to the exam hall. So I have completed Reptilia today. Next class will discuss about the aves. So with this I'll conclude my class today. Thank you so much.